Poor health starts in the mind. What am I going to do? I'm not ever getting better. I'm not getting any better. They're charging me a lot of money. They want this this test that costs thousands and thousands of dollars. You've got to put the word in your mind. Abraham had to have said to himself, God is fixing to reward me. But he didn't. He let the wrong thoughts sink into his mind. Now in chapter 17, he's called Abram at first and then Abraham. In chapter 17, God said in verse 4, I've made you a father of many nations, a father of many nations. He wasn't a father at all. Now, he said in verse 17, Abraham fell on his face and laughed. God said, Sarah, you have to understand this. Abraham's 99 years old. And Sarah is 10 years younger. She's 89. It's a little late to raise a kid, don't you think? I'm sure of that. And God said, Sarah will bear your child. And he said, how in the world can this be? Don't you know how old we are? He let his age be a hindrance, and his age sunk into his mind. And when it sinks into your mind and you meditate, you think about it, then it takes root and it manifests. You see that? Now look at Moses. Moses is in Exodus chapter 4, I think. God tells Moses he's going to send him to deliver the people. They've been captive in Egypt for 400 years. And he tells Moses, I'm going to deliver them. And I'm going to send you to be the head deliverer. You're going to take charge. You're going to bring them out of Egypt. That's what God told him. And here's what he said. He's supposed to go to Pharaoh and give Pharaoh the news, we're leaving. As you know, it was news Pharaoh was not interested in. O Lord, my Lord, I'm not eloquent, neither therefore, nor since thou hast spoken unto me, I'm slow of speech and slow of tongue. He said, you've picked the wrong spokesman. I'm not a good spokesman, and I don't speak clearly. He's telling God this won't work. He's telling God, this isn't going to work. God, have you heard me speak? Now his speech wasn't, and that includes sometimes our ignorance. His speech was a hindrance, and he was quick to tell God, that won't work. And God said, I love this, I love this, I love this. I'll be with your mouth and teach you what to say. I don't know if you know this, but one of great men of history, great pastors of history, was a stutterer. And they sent him to Bible schools all over the world because they could use him to prove the strength of the anointing. And he'd get up and he'd stutter, blah, you know how stutterers do. And about 5 minutes in, the anointing would drop on him, and he never stuttered again till he quit preaching. And they used him to teach the anointing. Now, God has said to Abram, I'll be with your mouth. So we know from history that would have worked. He said, no. See, when you refuse the will and the word of the Lord, or you get weary in well-doing, it is difficult if you're very ill to hang in there. God said, all right. I'll tell you what to say, and you tell Aaron, your brother, and Aaron will do that for you. See, he missed the chance to have the biggest miracle he had ever seen, probably, was that he would be able to speak clearly. But see, he refused the word of the Lord. Even after God said, I'll be with your mouth, that's a pretty big promise. In other words, it's going to be all right. What you meditate in will eventually manifest. If you meditate in the word comes to pass because it takes root in your spirit. And it comes to your mind. And your spirit and your mind are to work together.